Welcome, Twilight Zone fans and fellow time travelers. You're tuning in to another special edition of our journey into the fifth dimension. This week, 59 years ago, the world was introduced to an unforgettable episode of the Twilight Zone titled Mr. Garrity in the Graves. An episode laced with dark humor, a clever exploration of human fear and greed, it remains as poignant and thought-provoking today as it was on its original air date, May the 8th, 1964. Not only does Mr. Garrity in the Graves take us back to a time when television dared to challenge our deepest fears and desires, but it also reveals an intriguing connection to the state of Utah, which many fans might be unaware of. Today, we'll dive into the rich history and fascinating real-life inspiration behind this iconic episode, unraveling the layers of a story that stretches from a small mining town in Alta, Utah, to the eerie world of the Twilight Zone. Mr. Garrity in the Graves has a real-life connection to the state of Utah, which is unknown to many. You see, the story of this episode is actually based on a real event that occurred in Alta, Utah in 1873, which, at the time, was a silver mining town. The town's population was only around 5,000, and there was a murder there almost every night. One night, as the story goes, a mysterious man entered the town and claimed that he could resurrect the dead. Fearing the return of old grudges and debts, the townsfolk collected $2,500 to convince the man to leave. The story was ultimately published in a Utah history book called the American Guide Series, and was picked up by a local newspaper writer named Mike Korologos in 1963. Mike, who published the story in the Salt Lake Tribune, told a local Utah TV station that Twilight Zone producer and host Rod Serling happened to read the piece while he was staying at the local Alta ski lodge. Serling was so taken with the story that he reached out to Korologos and offered him $500 to adapt the tale into a Twilight Zone episode. In the episode, we're introduced to Garrity, a charismatic stranger who arrives in the small town of Happiness, Arizona in 1890. Garrity claims to possess the power to raise the dead, offering to use this extraordinary ability to reunite the townspeople with their deceased loved ones. Skepticism soon gives way to belief as Garrity demonstrates his seemingly miraculous powers. Yet beneath the surface lies a sinister truth. Garrity is a con man who manipulates the residents' fears and desires for his own monetary gain. Mr. Garrity in the Graves masterfully builds tension as the story unfolds. The townspeople, confronted with the possibility of their loved ones returning from the grave, begin to question whether they truly want them back. Old grudges, buried secrets, and unresolved conflicts rise to the surface, further complicating the situation. As the fear of the resurrected dead mounts, Garrity exploits the townspeople's desperation, revealing the darker aspects of human nature. In the dramatic climax, the townspeople, now fully believing in Garrity's powers, are frantic to prevent the return of their dearly departed. They offer large sums of money to Garrity to reverse the resurrection process. Garrity, having accomplished his goal, leaves the town with the money he's collected, revealing the charade. There were no resurrections after all. Once Garrity and his assistant have left the town, the final climatic scene uncovers the truth, that the deceased are indeed rising from their graves. In a scene that could be right out of Night of the Living Dead or Michael Jackson's Thriller video, the entire cemetery is suddenly alive with the newly resurrected. One of the resurrected remarks that Garrity fails to recognize the extent of his own talent. Another one can't wait to return to town to resume his drinking. A gunman wants to take care of that yellow-bellied sheriff that shot him in the back, and a woman named Zelda Guberman plans to break her husband's arm when she sees him. As we celebrate the anniversary of this great episode, we're reminded of the timeless quality of Rod Serling's Twilight Zone. Its ability to transcend time and place to deliver powerful messages. The resurrection of Mr. Garrity in the Graves is not only a testament to the show's enduring legacy, but also as a cautionary tale urging us to examine our own actions and motivations. As we wrap up this week's journey through Twilight Zone history, we're left with a reminder of the timeless magic of Rod Serling's creation. The story of Mr. Garrity and the Graves serves as both a testament to the enduring legacy of the Twilight Zone and as a cautionary tale that compels us to reflect on our own motivations and actions. It's a classic Twilight Zone twist that blurs the line between reality and illusion, leaving us to ponder the mysteries of human existence. But remember, we're only ever a step away from entering the fifth dimension, where the extraordinary is ordinary and the impossible becomes possible. So until our next journey into the Twilight Zone, share your thoughts about this episode in the comments below. And if you like this video, please like, share, and subscribe. But most of all, thanks for watching. This is Rich from Rerun Zone. I'll see you in the next dimension.